Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all having a nice day. Today's video is all about a puff. Well, I don't know if it's a puff piece or a sarcastic piece. So I thought we could go through it together. It is entitled "Signs Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are staging a Team Sussex comeback." And it's in a thing called The List. I have seen this publication before, and yes, they do tend to do what I consider puff pieces. I was reading it last night, and half of me is thinking this is a puff piece, and the other half of me is thinking, no, it's not. It's actually quite snarky and snide, so I'll let you make your own minds up, and I will put a link in the description to it, of course, as well. We're in the process of moving today, so this is a bit on the run, this video. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Team Sussex, whatever you want to call them, it's no secret that the pair has stirred up some drama within the British royal family. That's putting it mildly, isn't it? And nobody knows better than Princess Catherine and Prince William. Then it goes on, in January 2020, Harry and Meghan shook up Instagram with a bombshell announcement. They declared they were going to waving goodbye to their senior roles in the royal family, opting for a transatlantic split between the UK, North America, financial independence, check, representing the monarchy, check, only on a part-time basis, please. Their jaw-dropping move was dubbed Mexit, a clever mashup of Meghan and Exit, echoing the drama of Brexit. Brexit was the big referendum they had in the UK. Big political thing. The news sent shockwaves across the globe, lighting up social media feeds and making headlines everywhere. Fast forward to a royal rendezvous, dubbed Sandringham Summit, where the family gathered on 13th of January for an unprecedented powwow. Queen Elizabeth II attended, receiving praise for her swift handling of the royal ruckus. By January 18th, an agreement was inked, signalling a hard Megxit, which sort of represents, again, the Brexit thing. They were always talking about hard Brexit, soft Brexit, etc. For those that are not familiar with that saga. And they go on, and they did the interview with Oprah. In 2023, now this bit made me kind of giggle a bit, but I'm just not sure if this is an Ari Emanuel thing or not. In 2023, Meghan Markle took a step back from the spotlight, sparking a similar frenzy to 2024's Kate Gate. I'm sorry, no. Meghan has never gleaned that level of interest, global interest. I'd actually go as far as to say that right now, Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, is bigger at the moment than Princess Diana. I would really go that far as global interest goes. If she's not bigger, she's on a par. It's huge. I mean, it's like Kate mania. No, that's never happened. Meghan has gone missing many times and nobody cares, really. Well, apart from the Sugars, who, by the way, right, I have noticed some of these YouTube channels. I'll just leave that for a minute. These weird ones, I won't name them, I'm not going to publicise them, that are Sugars, that are claiming that the video of Catherine was AI, that her and Charles are making it all up about having cancer, because they were named as the racists in Endgame by Omid Scobie, who's shitting himself right now and getting a ton of heat. As predicted, I kind of thought that might happen. So they're now saying this is all invented because they want sympathy to get out of being accused of being royal racist. What the hell? Well, I mean, it is bullying, it is harassment, it is despicable, and it probably shouldn't be allowed. But, I mean, actually, if you go on TikTok, there's even worse stuff on TikTok. Especially about Meghan. I'm not going, yeah, probably am going to say it. I was chatting to a friend this morning and I said, I really mustn't say the word, I really mustn't say this, but I'm going to have to because it's a bit of an elephant in the room and it's all over TikTok. They're quite outrageous videos, made by a variety of people, men and women, some people of colour, I was quite surprised, making critical videos about Meghan and mentioning the religion voodoo, right? Now, there are various theories, and I kind of feel that this is stepping into Salem territory, and I don't like this at all. We cannot, social media cannot drive us as a society to such insanity that we start to link someone famous with voodoo and black magic. We can't. What we say in the privacy of our own homes, that's another matter. But on social media platforms, and people are whipped up into such a frenzy. I mean, it's got to calm down. But obviously, you know, bad juju here, there and everywhere, a lot of very bad things in the royal family. What I would say, I watched Lady C yesterday and I'm in complete agreement with her. When you have highly destructive, negative people kicking off, creating a drama all of the time, it does bring you down and it can affect your health. I don't believe stress alone can cause cancer, but if you've got anything, if you're feeling a little under the weather, then exceptional stress can encourage it, exacerbate it. It certainly doesn't help. I know a lot of you guys have had very negative people in your lives. I know a lot of your personal stories. You've had difficulties with family members, work colleagues, neighbours, just people you know in life who love to shit stir, love to cause drama, and invariably when they do it, when they've kicked up a big storm, then they pretend they're the victim and that you actually did that to them when all you did was keep your mouth shut, try and avoid it. But I mean, there comes a point with everybody, doesn't there, when they just... Even I can imagine even Our Late Majesty probably got to the point where she was, oh, sod off, just sod off, you know, I really can. Because we all have a breaking point, we all have a limit. And even the strongest people can be brought down. And so this whole article is about the very thought, the very suggestion that Harry and Meghan would come back to support the monarchy when, oh my God, firstly, they have plenty of members of the royal family, working members. Let's not forget Princess Anne. Let's not forget the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. And they have their own children who are coming of age. There are plenty of members, the Gloucesters, you know, the Kents. There are plenty of members of the British royal family. Harry and Meghan are not needed. They are far from needed. That's the last thing that the royal family need are a couple of drama queens who are going to come back, kicking off, recording, leaking stories, doing God knows what. It is the very last thing. And I did think it was interesting that it came out that leaked by somebody, God knows who, saying that Harry and Meghan had no idea about Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, diagnosis. Good. That tells me they are not trusted. And then I hear other rumours about, oh, well, the reason that the royal family don't tell Harry and Meghan stuff is not because Harry and Meghan leak, it's because maybe they have a conversation in a room and a member of staff overhears it. I'm sorry. Bolloxius Maximus. I believe it's them. Oh, and their attack dog, Christopher Boozy, who was on their Netflix docuseries. The press are really getting sunk into him. And the thing with that guy is he's loving it. He loves the fame, he loves the notoriety. He's going to rev it up. He's going to rev it up as much as he can. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to this article because it is bizarre. It is bizarre. It's almost like Meghan's PR has told this publication stuff and the publication have printed her bits, but they've also put in their bits. So, when Meghan went missing early last year, it was equivalent of Kategate. Really? No, I don't think so. While Prince Harry was on a media tour promoting his book Spare and dropping all kinds of sordid revelations about what goes on behind the scenes in the House of Windsor, Meghan was nowhere to be found. She was simply laying low to make sure the spotlight stayed on her husband. Or was she working on a secret comeback behind closed doors? The previous year, during the summer of 2022, an Instagram account with Meghan, yeah, who cares about that? Nobody cared, so we'll move on. Meghan's relationship with social media has run hot and cold over the years. Has it? Has it? Or has it been hot, hot, hot? I don't know. In 2020, she told Fortune she had no desire to be on social media due to addiction and an obsession it creates. However, in 2022 interview with The Cut, she stated, "I'm getting back on Instagram." That's another thing about her. You know, when she talks, I was saying this to Graham this morning. This is going to be a bit longer, by the way, sorry. When she talks, my impersonation of her is actually nothing like her. You know, mine is, "I'm Meghan Markle," you know, dead high pitch. She doesn't actually talk like that. She has a very low controlled voice. And what really, really irritates me is when she lowers her voice to a whisper just as she delivers a bitchy move. I really hate that, because she's on TV, she's got a microphone, it's going to be all over the media, so why is she whispering? And she does things like, "I know, and I just asked, is it just me? Was I the problem? I just had to know." And it irritates me because I think, you know, that's the punchline, that's how she delivers it, in my opinion, from what I've noticed of her. So let's continue. So and I remember that Cut article, and the girl said she lowered her voice and whispered, "Can I tell you a secret? I might be coming back on Instagram." You know, I remember distinctly reading that. While it would be easy to look at the year of 2023 as not so great for the Duke and Duchess, especially with the media criticism of Prince Harry after releasing his tell-all memoir Spare, the couple is ready to move forward. Despite the Sussex's bad press, Meghan Markle has reportedly been offered several lucrative endorsement deals, meaning she stands to make quite a bit of money. Now this bit, you're going to love this bit. This is in quotes for some reason, so I guess someone... Oh yeah, Mark Broadman. "Looking at a potential Hollywood comeback for Harry and Meghan in 2024 with multi-million-dollar deals in place for several book deals, ownership of publication rights to a novel, and besides running Archwell Foundation, the Sussexes are actively shaping their narrative and are certainly not waiting for something to happen," said an entertainment expert. Well, the fact he's had to say they're not waiting for something to happen means nothing's happening. The phone is not ringing. They're not going to sit around waiting for their phone. Despite a slew of bad press, that humiliating South Park episode, Meghan's Spotify deal being cancelled, and even making a Hollywood Reporter's list of the biggest losers of 2023, insiders have told US Weekly that 2024 could be their year of redemption. Really? And that the pair are in high demand with several lucrative offers, including speaking engagements and business collaborations. Again, I call bullshit. The source even claimed that Meghan's team has been constantly turning down offers and that she's highly sought after. There are even reports of Meghan being offered film roles, so who knows? Perhaps we'll see her in the next big blockbuster movie of 2025. Taking a breath, Meghan Markle joined forces with the WME agency in April 2023. So it's nearly been a year and nothing's happened. I don't think that's very impressive. This collaboration came after an array of competitors vied for her representation. So it wasn't just WME, they were the lucky ones that won. The others were vying to represent her. Were they indeed? Following her relocation to California with Prince Harry, which was 4 years ago. Meghan's formidable team will include Ari Emanuel, who is currently the CEO of Endeavour, Brad Slater and Jill Simon. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's the most bizarre article. As I say, I will put a link in the description for all of you to look at. Now, Boozy. Oh my goodness, Boozy's out there attacking the Princess of Wales. And I have looked on Twitter and, I mean, he had to lock comments apparently at one point. Omid Scobie has changed it so that only people he follows can comment. So he's basically not had comments. Well, I haven't looked today, I looked yesterday. I have seen sugar accounts who I've never seen before, saying, you know, oh, you're all racist Brits and all that, you're attacking Meghan, and why is it you're defending Catherine when you didn't defend Meghan, etc., etc. And I have not seen supportive comments on their tweets. Far, far from it. A lot of people attacking, and not only people on our team, just like, as I've said many times before, just general passers-by who weren't that interested or invested in the royal family happen to be seeing these tweets and they're like, this is disgusting, stop it. Well, I don't like the word disgusting, because disgusting to me is something like when you tread in dog shit. It's more disgraceful. Disgraceful, I think, is a more appropriate word for the way these people behave. And I am seeing a turning of the tide. Obviously, there are still people out there with these crazy wild theories. I think cancer is such a leveller because it has touched so many people's lives. A lot of you guys, I've read your comments, it's phenomenally brave people, all of you. My heart goes out to everyone and anybody who's been touched by it, because it's just so bloody unfair and bloody awful. And so when these sugars start saying things like they're making it up, Charles and Catherine don't really have cancer, then a lot of, as I say, people who were not necessarily invested in the royal family or Meghan, they're just passing by, they're innocent bystanders, let's put it like that, and they've had their lives touched by cancer, and so they're stepping forth. There's a lot of people getting involved in this. And I see also in the media now Boosie's trying to twist it and say it was the evil British press. Now, yes, some publications played their part, but I mean, actually, guys, let's be fair to the press anywhere. Their job is to report news. Well, news is things people are interested in and talking points. So, in fairness to them, I see that the Daily Mail, I don't know who this guy is, but I saw a TikToker who said some stuff, and the Daily Mail, I think it was the Daily Mail, a journalist actually found out the guy's real identity, so he's getting a lot of heat at the moment. And as I've often said, you know, people don't want to be thought a twat. Don't do twatty things when you think nobody's looking, because one day they might be looking. I mean, me, you know, I'm Fiona, I'm here, I talk. My thing mostly is talking about the royal family and their public personas, because we've no idea what they're like. I mean, for example, Camilla could be, I don't know, she could be a pool shark, couldn't she? She could be there, absolutely brilliant, playing billiards or something and getting people to put money on the table, and she could be taking all their money. She could be into wild music. We don't know, but they're them as people, which is their private lives. And then there's them and how they depict themselves and represent themselves in the British monarchy and their public persona. And obviously also Harry and Meghan, I've no idea what they're like as people, but they've exposed quite a lot about themselves personally. They've given political, personal representations of who they are as people, whereas the other members of the family have not. So they've opened themselves up for it, really, haven't they? They've opened the floodgates. So my interest is very much in publications, and I'm happy to, you know, if I'm going to chat shit all day, I do it as me. This is me, I'm Fiona, you know who I am, you know where to find me. That's a big difference between that and a sugar account that is an anonymous, and it just comes out with stuff like the King and Catherine have never had cancer. And they're trying to liken it to the pregnancy conspiracy theories, which, let's face it, I mean, whatever was going on there, it's done and dusted. And as far as the majority of the world are concerned, I suppose, you know, they don't care. They've moved on and they're not even thinking about it at the moment. But that's a completely different thing. And I mean, if you don't want to have rumours of pregnancy when it's such a big thing in a line of succession, then, you know, don't fuck around and have a big bump, a small bump, a big bump, a small bump, secrets, conspiracy. I've often said I can't understand Harry particularly, because all of the painful things that Harry has had, a lot of them are allegations about his lineage and his parentage. I'm not even going to say the guy's name, but because Harry happens to have red hair, A lot of people say, you know, Charles is not his dad. To me, it is abundantly obvious Harry is Charles's dad. Take away the hair from both of them and just focus on this part of the face. I've said it before, they're like a carbon copy of each other. Harry is Charles's boy. For me, and the Spencers, Diana and her family, that's where the red hair came from. So how can Harry, having grown up with all the teasing and the rumours and the hurtful things, how could he then have shrouded the birth of his children in such secrecy, mystery, and create this breeding ground for conspiracy theories? Or maybe not conspiracy theories, just questions, you know, why so secretive when it is a line of succession? Whereas Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales and His Majesty the King have been very open, really open. I mean, how much more do they need to give before these people are happy? Do they have to lay there naked and point to parts of their body and actually say, oh, well, this is what started to happen. I started to get this symptom, and go into all sorts of indelicacies. Oh, if only Meghan had done that when she was pregnant. I mean, if she just had a consistently sized bump. As you know from the video the other day, I have no idea what was going on there. But why do something like that? Surely to goodness. So, the very thought of those two drama queens coming back, I mean, as you all know, I have mentioned more than once that we have had extremely negative people in our sphere. Not family members, not work colleagues, but just people within our sphere who have caused immense stress and negativity. Thankfully, we got rid of them. We got them out of our lives years ago. And the quality of our life just, you know, we just blossomed as a family. Everybody's happier. There are some people that when they leave the room, there is a collective sigh of relief. And I do recall that when Harry and Meghan eventually left for the Megxit thing, there was a source from within Buckingham Palace who said exactly that. They said, it's not so much missing them. There was a collective sigh of relief that they had left the building. And that says a lot. And people do not want, I mean, I get the impression the general British population, not everybody, I'm not a politician, I wasn't elected, I'm not here to speak for anybody, but the public persona impression I'm getting is that the general population in Britain do not want Harry anywhere near the throne, anywhere near the royal family, especially not when they're dealing with health issues. You want, when you're going through something, whatever health issue it is, you want people who are going to make you laugh. You want people who are going to be upbeat. You want people who are going to bring you good news. You want things to look forward to, dates to look forward to. It makes the world a difference. Believe me, it makes the world a difference. I know this is going to sound really odd, but when Graham was doing his chemo last year, I mean, we would make a point of having a laugh while we were in the hospital and chatting and gossiping and just keeping things as upbeat as possible and having things to look forward to. If we had had someone in our lives at that point who was, you know, physically there, bringing us down, bringing us drama, it could have been a very, very different story. So I don't think Harry or Meghan should be anywhere near any member of the royal family. But I do believe they're going to relocate to the UK. You brace yourselves for it. I've seen this coming for months. They will, because they're not getting work. No, she still hasn't managed to get 1 million followers on Instagram. She hasn't even managed to get 600,000. She has not got Hollywood with the phone ringing. There are no more lucrative deals. They've done it. They blew their shotgun. They've got nothing left. They are a pair of talentless, uninteresting people who happen to be related to the King and the future King of England. Apart from that, they don't have anything. I mean, just look at Harry. Look at Harry himself. If you want to talk about voodoo or negativity, Harry Windsor, who I know a lot of people are of the opinion that the palace PR machine made him look better than he was, but please bear with me for a minute, trust me. If you've ever had a real psychotic narcissist anywhere near you, it changes you as a person. And I look back at Harry and he was laughing and he was so close to Catherine and William and their children, and the Queen adored him. Our late Majesty, and he was happy and he had a full head of hair and everything was positive, positive, positive. And then along came Meghan. I am not woman blaming. Imagine if Harry was a girl and it had been a man that had come along. Oh my God, planet Earth would have said, look at this abuse. Now look at Harry. He's lost his hair. He's hunched over. He's stressed. He's a broken man. I mean, for God's sake, Windsor, if you watch this video, look at some videos of yourself years ago. I look at old pictures and videos of me and Graham, and yes, we were younger, but I'm so glad to look at us now and think we don't look, you know, broken, and obviously you end up with the odd wrinkle and the wear and tear when we all encounter these kind of negative idiots in our lives. And they do leave their scars, but I mean, that's what makes you as a person. But then most of us, you've got to be positive, you've got to pull yourself up, and you've got to say, come on, let's get on with it. Life is for the living. It's not for complaining. It's not for wasting time. But I do believe he has run out of money, or it's running pretty bloody low. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in debt and bankrupt. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. You cannot live for 4 years with no income. I don't believe that Netflix 100 million. I don't believe the Spotify 30 million. I never did. They will have been hugely and overly exaggerated and original figures in the first place, I think. I don't believe in the huge book sales. In order to sustain that type of lifestyle with security in a 16-bedroom, 14-bedroom, 16-bathroom mansion, whether they live there or not, whatever it is, you can bet wherever they live, their overheads are inordinate. The lawsuits, all the money leaking out. It's obvious, it's inevitable that he's going to want to come back. It is inevitable. I mean, I can't see how there's anybody out there who can't see it. They are going to move back to the UK and they are going to do their damnedest to get back in with the Windsors. And I believe the Windsors, it's a firm no. They didn't share the confidential diagnosis of Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, with Harry and Meghan. That's clear. Charles couldn't wait to escape in his helicopter when Harry turned up. Harry's flown all the way across the Atlantic, 11, 12-hour flight. And I do believe it was only about a 12-minute meeting. And then he's off in a helicopter. The Windsors don't want to know. With that family, once you are out, you are out. That's it. That they've proved this time and time again. It is part of their survival skill set. And that's part of why I was astonished when Harry stormed out in a flounce and a tantrum. I thought, you do realise, Windsor, when you're out, you're out. Anyway, as always, I can imagine a lot of you going, Harry, no way, no, you're not coming back. But I mean, he could come and live in the UK. No one can stop him doing that. Meghan can live in the UK. All this exile stuff, I don't think that that's really the case. He's British born. She's married to him. There's a couple of children out there, allegedly. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them move back to the UK and they'll put it on and say, oh, we need to help, and pull on the heartstrings and stuff like that, get sympathy. And they'll probably have some supporters out there saying, oh, the meanie Windsors. But I will never forget. And Boozy and all that lot 4 years ago was saying, you British, you're just angry because Harry and Meghan don't want to be in your royal family. So hold them to that. If I'm right and Harry and Meghan start moving back to the UK and try wheedling their way back in, you mark my words, we will all have to stand up and retweet the screenshots from back in the day when the Sugars said they don't want anything to do with the racist British royal family. Never forget that. If they ever get near the throne, ever, which is highly unlikely, that'd be the end of the monarchy. I'd become a Republican overnight. As always, thank you very much for listening.